movie was creepy as all fuck, man.
They never fucking listen. They never fucking listen. Don't play the fucking game. And you fucking lied to me. We were supposed to go see another movie, but then he's like, we're gonna go see Deepwater Horizon. Wait, that movie's been out for months. What the fuck are we gonna do that for?
Joe, did you enjoy the movie?
It played on my fears, I'm not gonna lie.
Ouija.
I'm not gonna it just confirms my
I
suspicion.
was gonna start this review by shoving a Ouija board in Joe's face because Joe legitimately hates Ouija boards.
Seriously,
and then I realized, wait a minute, I don't have it anymore. And then I remember, oh yeah, Joe threw it away because it's like, we're done with this shit.
We don't need to keep it in the house.
He didn't want it in my house.
It's a gateway.
So he threw it in the trash. Anyways, Ouija, Origin of Evil is a sequel to a previous Ouija movie that came out that was fucking stupid as hell. Okay, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those movies where like, are you really? Is there gonna be a Candyland movie next?
But straight to DVD.
Candyland straight to DVD. I was like, okay, well maybe Ouija would be good because it's based on, so it could be a horror premise and it could be good. But no, it was terrible. It was boring. It was stiff. It was just not exciting. No. This movie though, wow! Like how you go from that movie to this movie? It impresses me.
Yeah, they stepped it up.
They stepped it up. You go out. I can already tell you right now. Go out and see this movie if you want some legitimate scares, if you want some creepiness.
It's a great Halloween movie.
Yeah, it is go take a date out, go take your family, go take your friends, and trick them, say you're gonna go to a different movie. Joe, how did you like
Waste my gas.
Yes. It was not a waste of gas, was it, Joe?
It's fucking creepy as fuck, and I'm gonna be haunted by that little girl.
Yeah.
Every time I close my eyes, I see her.
Okay, so let's talk about the cast here. What this was actually, in retrospect, it is a prequel to the original film, and that's why it has that subtitle, Origins of Evil, because in this film you have a mother character who is sort of, a charlatan, she does palm reading, she does...
neglectful mother.
What?
She's very neglectful. That's what she is. Takes advantage of her daughters too.
Right. So she tricks people and thinks that she can commune with the dead, and she thinks that she's doing a service for people. Yeah. But eventually it comes around where the Ouija board is kind of thrown in there at the end. You know what I mean? It's not a movie about the Ouija board. It's more a movie about this fucking house. All these creepy spirits that are dwelling in this house, and the Ouija board just amplifies this and allows the communication to happen a lot better, quicker, and allows basically the daughter to be possessed. The mother has two daughters, an older one and a younger one. All three of them really did a fantastic job acting, but man, that little fucking girl, that face, let's see that. That face, and it reminds me of that face in Lights Out. Not the movie, but the short. Right when she clicks off, and I was like, why didn't they do that face?
Oh, they did that face the entire movie.
They did that face here. It was creepy. They did legitimate, not jump scares, though there was maybe one in the film, which was this.
Well timed. I think there was some jump scares, but well timed.
Yeah. I don't mind jump scares if they're done correctly and they have the creep to back them up.
See, what
this
I
has the creep.
Was they would have creepy things in the background, and then they would stay there long enough for you to finally see them.
Yeah.
And when you did, it's like, oh shit!
Like fuck.
It's like, oh fuck.
So eventually, the mother decides to incorporate this Ouija board into her seances to give it a little bit of spice, and since Ouija boards are popular, I think the time period, 1967, really helped this movie. It helped Conjuring 2, it helped this one, and so this Ouija board is just coming out, and it's kind of a thing to do amongst friends, like even though it's still a thing to do, these days to whip out the Ouija board, but you won't catch Joe doing it.
He broke all 3 rules, by the way.
I didn't even know there were rules.
Yeah, I didn't know there were rules.
Okay, the rules. 1, never play alone. They did. 2.
She did, yeah. The little girl played alone. She fucked up. Yeah. That's how she gets possessed.
Never play in a graveyard and always say goodbye. They never say goodbye.
Yeah,
They could have closed it the whole time. It could have been like, okay, we close this circle, we're done. Good.
Legitimate.
Like, hey, come on in, come on in.
Legitimate scares in this movie. Things just click together correctly. The daughters go to a Catholic school, so that's how we sort of get our priest character. And you think this priest is gonna then eventually factor into the story and do battle with the evil and boy, is it a lopsided battle, I'll tell you that much. And it really just does an amazing job at building that tension. The scenes flow together real nice. Cinematography is excellent. Yeah. They play with the darkness and the light.
No, they did a really good job because, like I said, the background stuff. Like you won't notice it for a few seconds, and then when it moves, you're like, "Oh fuck!" You know?
I don't like what's creepy to me. The unnatural unhinging of the jaw. That's also very creepy for me. I like it when they do that, and it looked good here. The effect looked good. They use it quite a bit. But it still has that creepy effect. People are fucking defying gravity, and it's a movie that you need to go out and see.
Gets me, like the way she moved her neck. I was like,
oh yeah. Things have, like you said, things happening in the background where characters are focusing on what's happening, and you're like, turn around, behind you, motherfucker. Oh shit. This movie, I'm so surprised because the original was bad. Everybody said it was bad, and I'm wondering if I went in here with low expectations and it blew it away.
Well, I didn't know what the fuck to expect.
Yeah.
But after I saw the title and everything, I was like, all right, now I know what's saying all this fucking shit. But I was surprised.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Pleasantly surprised with Ouija, Origin of Evil. It looks completely different than how it says with that word, Ouija. Yeah. But, a fantastic acting, legitimate scares, and and I think part of the reason why it was so much better than the first one is it's a completely new director and a completely new writer. And the director then helps the writer. So the director this time was Mike Flanagan, and he also had a co-writer with him. And so Mike Flanagan knows apparently how to do a much better version of this Ouija story than the original. And it's so good that now I want to go back and watch the original since I didn't see it, and I heard it was just a bunch of awfulness, and I heard summaries and I read about it, but
I'm not gonna watch the original. I don't want to mar this one.
Yeah, okay.
I'm good without it.
There's a good point. So, from this point, would you want to see another one because 2 was so good?
I think it's already complete.
Yeah.
I think the circle's complete. They should leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Interesting.
It's perfect as it is.
That's what they always do in horror movies. Is they if it's successful, they keep it going. But this one, I do think
it would ruin it if
you
they
should
kept
leave
it
it alone. And it's odd to get the first one be so bad, and the one in present time is bad, but the other one that explains the origin of the whole story is actually good. So you go and you get a shittier one. Now they've already done the shittier one. We don't need to see a third shitty one that goes back to shitty. Maybe for me, if they use the same director, the same writer, and they give us a third one, maybe. But
if you want to get
like
your Ouija board fixed, there's a lot of Ouija board fucking Netflix movies. Go watch those.
Is there?
This one is complete. It's done.
Okay.
Ready to die out.
Yeah.
This franchise was good. So let's talk a little bit about the ghosts. They do show the entities at some point. They have this really creative thing of taking the Ouija board. There's a word for it. I forget what the word is.
Lens.
And you look through the actual thing, the lens on the thing, and you can see, shadows and figures.
Why would you do that?
That is so
make
cool.
matters worse.
I like that. I like how they had that in the movie. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
They didn't overuse that. At no point do you ever see it clearly. And I really like that. You see, the figure move behind a pillar, and then other times, just right out of your view, they realize you're about to see them, and they disappear. So it was really good. And at some point, I was expecting them to just be like, ah! But they didn't really do that. They did it at one point where she looks into a mirror, and she sees the entity. And this is the first time we actually see the entity in its full glory, because it's almost as if it was 2 different entities. The ones that were moving around the lens, and then the one that we get to see full glory. And the only complaint that I have against the movie is the full glory monster. I don't know about you guys, but I thought he was disappointing. He was more maybe just the CGI on the eyes or something like that. It rang hollow for me. I did like the blackness and the darkness to it, but and it didn't do the CGI blackness and darkness, but it was basically just almost like a tar creature.
Yeah.
Did you like the design?
I would have preferred a more like cloudy, more like spiritual thing.
Yeah, if they would have pulled like the Insidious guy or some other creepiness from another film and put it in here, it would have made it stronger.
I liked it, but he didn't look as menacing as he could have. I agree there.
But the good part is you almost never see the entity raw like that. These evil beings possess the daughter, and they possess other people in the film, and through that it's much creepier. Through the unhinging of the jaw, the wide eyes, the creepiness, the cold interactions, the unpredictable interactions of, that's somebody you care about, but it's not really the person that you know anymore, is incredibly frightening, and they played with that perfectly. And I thought that this was an excellent film and one you definitely need to see in theaters. So let's go to our final verdicts, make this a shorter one. We'll start with Beard.
I'm going to give it a solid 8.
8 out of 10. Okay. Was there any negatives in your opinion? What brought it to the 8? Mm-hmm.
The writing could have been a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was solid. It's a solid 8.
It's really
It's a good
good. You
movie.
need to go out and see it. I think what would bring it down from me, and I think where some of that comes from is towards that third act. It almost felt like you could feel the writing now. It's like, okay, now we need to put things into gear, and it's like, let's go into the basement. But let's bring the Ouija board with it. It kind of felt thrown in, and it kind of felt rushed there towards the end, as if they had done such a good job building it, and they were like, okay, let's get to the thing real quick. But then it goes perfectly right after that. It's just maybe like a 5-minute misstep where you're like throwing everything into there. But it's more, but you can also excuse it as shit is happening now. You know what I mean? That's what's going on, and it's not like a continuous slow build. So, Joe, what would you give it?
I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's piss poor decisions. Playing the Ouija board, going into the fucking basement.
But they stuck together.
No, they didn't.
But they went.
No, they didn't.
They
At
went
one
to
point, they broke
certain
up.
places where you can't really escape. Get the fuck out. Burn the house down.
Yeah. I like,
Some of these things are like, why are you doing this?
Well,
You're being dumb.
but that's horror. You gotta set it up like that, Joe. Was there anything that like was out of place that you hated that ruined other
not
horror
really off
movies?
point.
Okay, so that it was very, very strong, and it's one of those horror movies that best of the year that you would go out and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Halloween.
I'm gonna actually give it a 9 out of 10. I don't know if this was my lower expectations and I was just pleasantly surprised. This is one that you need to go out and see in theaters. I think it's excellent. It makes good use of the creepy faces. It makes good use of the tension. Minimum creepy scares. Only one odd transition between like we're talking about the ghost to directly into the
that was great.
some shit happening downstairs. They do the playing back and forth where they're talking about an event and something else is happening in another event. The girl is leading the boyfriend character into the basement while they're talking about what is really going on, and that interplay of cutting back and forth was really cool, and how they can scare you unexpectedly but not really a jump scare. So it was really, really cool. 9 out of 10. I felt like no, it was perfect for me, honestly. 9 out of 10. Go out and see it. Maybe it rushed there a little bit towards the end. I think it's a complete story. I wouldn't mind seeing another one, but pleasantly surprised.
That's it. We're done with it.
We're done with the
done with
Ouija
it.
board. I'm gonna
It's fucking creepy though. You're like, all right, they live here in the house. The ghosts always see everything you do. So
let's go talk
I'm
upstairs.
like, holy shit! What the fuck have they seen me? Have they seen me do my perverted stuff? Fuck!
They know. They know our secret.
They know you were
They're like, Joe, you idiot!
terrible.
It wasn't me, I swear.
What are you looking at?
It's your fault. You chose to look at that.
I think Joe at that point goes for the left the house. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck this,
Good.
man. You can have it.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to freak them out before they freak me out.
All right,
Get
guys.
out of here! Be gone!
Staring straight
The
at
power
there.
of Christ compels you.
That's a perfect way to end it. 9 out of 10. Go see it right now. We'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. Bye.
Yes.